All right, so today I'm going to be going over a single arm dumbbell row. Before I start going over the technique for this, there are a couple different variations you can choose to use or alternate around if things start to get stale with one variation. First variation would be having a neutral stance. So that means both of your feet are going to be right next to each other. You're going to make sure that you hinge over and then put one hand on the bench. The other hand is going to be the arm that does the rowing. Now, in that same position, you can do a staggered stance. This would be the second variation. You're going to kick one leg back, still put that opposite hand on the bench, and then you're going to row on the same side of that leg that is kicked back. Third variation, and the one I'm going to be going over more in depth, is a single arm dumbbell row with one knee on the bench. So, you're going to have one knee on a bench, that same hand on the same side, also on that bench. You want to make sure that that opposite leg is kicked out just a little bit so it does not interfere with the range of motion of the dumbbell you are going to be rowing. So you kick that out. You're going to reach down. Make sure you aren't over-bending, overarching to go grab that dumbbell. Still maintain a neutral posture with your back, or at least as much as you can. Some people have to go a little bit further to reach down to grab that dumbbell. Now, once you pick that up, you're just going to pick it up slightly. You're not going to bend from your arm at all. For the rowing motion, a lot of people like to bring that straight up. When the dumbbell comes straight up, there's no real arc to it. That usually isn't great, especially if you're focusing on your lat, and sometimes for people that are trying to use as much weight as possible, it could put a little bit of pressure and a little bit of annoyance and irritation on the shoulder, which we really don't want. So, for most people that aren't really advanced and are doing that in that range of motion for a specific reason, you're going to want to have just a little bit more of an arc, really focus on squeezing that lat, especially at the top. And then at the bottom, you can get a little bit of a stretch. Now, we don't want to overextend or put yourself in a bad position, but you do want to get as much of a range of motion as possible in the lat, which is the targeted muscle when you are doing a dumbbell row. And that is a single arm dumbbell row.